So those are the farms, and when COVID is not in play, you can go visit them. I can't wait to go visit all the farms at Young Living. I know so many people that have, and it's a magical experience. So I'm so excited to talk to all the scientists when we can finally go visit the farms again. So I'm all about superfoods. I'm all about whole foods. If you can get, instead of supplementing, if you can get it from an actual food source, I always recommend to do that versus supplementation. However, we're going to dig a little bit into why sometimes it's important to supplement, but it's not always about what you're cutting out as far as the food that you're putting in, but it's about what you're putting into your body. So out of probably everything that Young Living offers as far as a supplement, my favorite would be the NingXia. So you can't, a lot of people say, well, can't you just get what you need from your food? And at one time I would have said yes, but most people don't eat with the food that they're supposed to eat on a daily basis. And a lot of things has changed with the soil. So my answer nowadays is normally no, not anymore, because the food that God created when he made the earth is not the food that's being grown here now. So food is repeatedly grown on the same land with pesticides and fertilizers. Scientists are creating new variety of crops that grow faster, that resist bugs. The plants don't have the time that they need to absorb the same nutrients, and the soil loses its vitamins, its minerals, and its microbes faster than they can be replaced. There was a Kushi Institute analysis of nutrient data from 1975 to 1997. So within 22 years, they found that the average calcium levels in 12 fresh vegetables dropped 27%, iron levels dropped 30%, and vitamin C dropped 30%. So you would have to eat 8 oranges today to get the same amount of vitamin A that your grandparents got. So a lot of people might say, well, maybe you can't get enough from plants, but maybe you can make that up with meat. And I'm all about plant-based whole foods. I don't even incorporate meat, but if you do, when plants contain fewer nutrients, the animals that eat them are also going to be malnourished. So another study that was done from Journal of Nutrition and Health, they found that copper levels in the UK are down 90% in dairy, 55% in meat, and 76% in vegetables. Water is also depleted of minerals because of the plants pulling for more nutrients and modern production methods, which are more efficient. So that means more plants on the same land, more crop rotations by, overdoing it by hand instead of doing it by hand. And then there are the town filtration systems, and many of those remove important minerals. So they're going to take out your magnesium, which is essential for over 300 biochemical reactions in the body. Then top it off, they're going to add chlorine, they're going to add fluoride to it, and lots of other nasty things in your water, but that is another topic. Okay, so the case for supplementation. So beyond that, nutrient absorption declines with age. So the older we get, the less that we absorb, unfortunately. Nutrient deficiencies hurt our performance. They can cause DNA damage, they can make us age faster, and they can cause chronic disease. So that's why we need to supplement our diet. So what is NingXia Red? So if you got one of the starter kits, you got this little guy, you got this little packet, and then you may have ordered the larger bottles, which are here. And we'll go into them. So, what is it? It tastes really good. It's really sweet, but what is it? It is a whole wolfberry puree. So if you leave your NingXia on the counter for a couple minutes, you'll notice that it divides into 2 colors, which I have left this out. I don't know because I can't see myself. Can you see that this part is like a red and this one's more of like a liquid? I don't know if anyone wants to write in the chat because I can see the chat. But the color on the bottom is going to be the pureed fruit. It's about a third, sometimes a half of the bottle. So by using the entire plant and not just the juice, you now have a whole food supplement, which is way more powerful. And there's a picture, in case you couldn't see mine, of the color distinct. So NingXia wolfberries. So now NingXia wolfberries grow in the Ningxia River Valley in China. On top of that, the juice is blended with blueberry, aronia, which I didn't, when I first got it, I was like, what is aronia? I had to look up that type of berry. Cherry, pomegranate, and plum juices, natural stevia extract, which is an herb, grapeseed extract, pure vanilla extract, and then you're going to have orange, yuzu, lemon, and tangerine essential oils. And yuzu is an oil that you can't even get by itself in Young Living. It's only used for NingXia. NingXia is the only nutrient drink on the market that combines whole Chinese wolfberries and pure therapeutic grade essential oils into a single beverage. There are at least 80 species of lysum berries worldwide, but only the barbarium shows the highest nutrient levels in scientific testing. The NingXia region holds the gold certificate, which is kind of like China's equivalent to the USDA organic certification. They're grown with no fertilizers, no pesticides, no sulfur, no irradiation, no dyes, no heavy metals. So you're not going to have lead, arsen, mercury, cadmium, a lot of things that we find in our soil now. The NingXia's region irrigation water comes from the Yellow River, which is upstream from all the pollutants of the major cities. The Yellow River floods the NingXia plants with a layer of minerals and silt every year. The farms in NingXia are in a semi-arid region with plenty of sunlight, high temperature difference between day and night. So if you think of sap running in maple trees, temperature differences are good for the liquids in plants. They keep them moving. The elevation is just right for the plant to be the most productive. Any other place in the world, they would not have the same ecological condition of the pH of the water, the nutrients in the soil, the silt, or the silt from the Yellow River. The conditions have earned NingXia the distinction of being China's recognized herbal medicine valley. NingXia has a high nutritional content and naturally occurring organic sugar, the sugar that allows your cells to talk. NingXia is China's only medicinal wolfberry production base. The Lycium barbarium variety of the wolfberry is superior in vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and antioxidants. It's more than any other wolfberry in the world. So here's a little Chinese proverb to round it out. If you want to be happy for an hour, go take a nap. If you want to be happy for a day, go fishing. But if you want to be happy for a lifetime, help people. So that's why I want to teach everyone on NingXia, because I believe in helping others. So when I first got started with Young Living, I was already on my toxin-free journey. I am always searching for companies that have very high standards because of all the products that we're utilizing, the food that we're eating. There's a lot of chemicals and everything that we're utilizing. And when I first heard about NingXia, I didn't really understand it. So I'm like, well, what is this like really sweet drink? It can't really be that good for you. So I had to look up. I'm like, well, what's like a NingXia wolfberry? And I'm like, okay, like my kids eat goji berries, and I'm like, okay, well, it's a little similar to like goji berries. And so I had the packets for my starter kit. I drank them, and I'm like, okay, I'll get a couple bottles and I'll try it out. I still didn't really like totally understand the value of NingXia, so I started taking it every day around 1 to 2 o'clock because I'm barely sleep, and I was like, I think it gives me some energy. I'm not really sure. So then I stopped for a couple of days and I was exhausted. So I started incorporating it into my daily routine. I take it in the afternoon. Sometimes I take it too at night. Like I'll just put like a little bit in my water with some tangerine, citrus fresh, sometimes grapefruit. I add different vitality oils, but it doesn't give you like that high of like a caffeine boost, but I feel like it just overall like helps my body overall. But I didn't never notice it at first. And then I started to research like why I did it, which we'll go into. Okay, so we're going to talk about the journey that NingXia took to get to your doorstep, which is pretty amazing. So it's hard to bring something sacred from China all the way to the United States. Gary Young, who was the founder of Young Living, was in search of the fountain of youth, the plant that was eaten that helped people live well into their hundreds. He searched in all corners of the earth, and I read the whole story on Gary Young, and if you ever want to know what book it is, I can send you the link to get it. But it was so informative on how Young Living got started. And that really was why I kind of trusted Young Living over other companies that I saw, because Gary Young he got into a really bad accident, was paralyzed, and then tried committing suicide and multiple times, and then found essential oils and was really the pioneer. So all the products that he created were because of someone that had a need. He created it to help them. It was never about profit. And so Gary he traveled the world to find, like, if someone said there is some miracle in whatever country, he would travel there and track it down to see if it was real and like where the true source was. I mean, he traveled the world to find the best seed to bring back, to plant, to grow, to make an oil out of it. And then from there, he didn't stop. It had to be, the best time of day, how's it harvested, what's the soil, the temperature, the climate. I mean, every little thing that goes into being the best of the best. That was what he was about, is providing really good quality. So he really searched all nooks and crannies and corners of the earth. He actually did, I think he did there's another book. I have not read it all the way. I have browsed it, but there is one that's called NingXia Wolfberry, the ultimate superfood, which is here. And in case you're interested, it talks a little bit about all the stuff that we talk about today. So he found that the people living in NingXia region in China had exceptional lifespans and something in common. They were all nibbling on the berry, making tea out of it. They would dry the fruit. They were eating it. So he took the berry back to his lab in the US, and thus the journey of the red berry made it to American soil. So once Gary found NingXia, it took him 7 years to get it past customs in the US and get it formulated. I mean, that's crazy. It started first as berry young juice, which I was not privy to see, but I've heard about that. And it was called just the juice. And then he reformulated it to include the peel and the flesh of the wolfberry fruit. So let's talk about some science behind why NingXia works. I'm gonna give you 7 quick reasons with simple explanations. So reason 1, antioxidants. 1 ounce of NingXia. So that's gonna be just a half of this packet. Or if you can like eyeball it, if you have the large bottle. So 1 ounce of NingXia Red is equal to 2 pounds of wolfberries. There's about 17 to 18 species of wolfberry, but only the NingXia wolfberry has the ability to deliver all the micro and macro nutrients that are bioavailable to our cells of our body. Antioxidants play a huge role in our aging, our memory, arthritis, inflammation, and so much more. If you've ever heard of ORAC, it's oxygen radical absorbance capacity. It's a method of measuring antioxidant capacities. So the highest antioxidant in the ORAC scale is going to be vitamin E, which comes in between 800 and 1200. And then followed by that's going to be blueberries, raspberries, pomegranates. So a combination of those fruits together will reach maybe a 3,000 on the ORAC. The ORAC of NingXia is 27,300. So we're gonna watch a quick video on one of the diamonds, Debbie Erickson, to show just the antioxidants power.
Hey, I'm Debbie Erickson. I'm a Diamond here in Dallas, Texas. We're filming on location at a Whole Foods here in Plano, Texas. I've been in Young Living for soon to be 7 years, and I've been a very happy NingXia Red daily user almost an entire 7 years. Our 6 kids, our 6 grandkids, my 94-year-old mother-in-law, our 2 black labs, we all love our NingXia Red on a daily basis. It is a superfood. It is nutrient dense. The NingXia Wolfberry has over 200 times the amount of antioxidant value than any other food. And I want to talk to you about 3 things today here as you're going to take me on a fun shopping trip here in Whole Foods. I want to talk about the synergistic value that the NingXia Wolfberry has, along with the other 6 fruits that are in NingXia Red, plus 4 essential oils. That synergy, which means the whole is greater than the parts. The sum whole of NingXia Red is greater than just the NingXia Wolfberry by itself, or the other 6 fruits, or the 4 oils. It's an amazing superfood. And I believe, as an RN and as a Young Living leader, that everybody should have it as a foundation to their healthy daily diet. But I also want to talk to you about the comparative value of NingXia Red. When you look at what the other fruits and vegetables that it's equal to in terms of amount in just 1 ounce, it's amazing. And it's so convenient to be able to get it in a 1 or 2 ounce serving every day. So let's have some fun and let's go shopping for what the comparative value of NingXia Red is to other high fruits and vegetables and antioxidants. Come join me on this shopping trip. Let's have some fun. Thanks for being with me today, Whole Foods. This was so much easier doing that than filling 3 shopping carts.
Okay, can you hear me now? Let me know if that works. I had to change it. Okay, sorry guys. I tried to fix it, but it didn't help. It was still delayed. I don't know why it's so delayed. I could see it on my screen, so sorry about that. Okay. So alkaline. And in case, so all the fruit that she just did, that was only on antioxidants. That has nothing to do with the mineral or the nutrient component. That was strictly just the antioxidant. So again, that's why I always say go to food if you can. Like we do smoothies at home, but we also do NingXia too. And I know some people that don't even, they either don't have the time or they don't even do smoothies. It's so hard to get all the food that because of everything that's been depleted over time. So the next thing we're going to talk about for reason 2 is going to be acid to alkaline. So in our bodies, you have alkaline acid. Now, what creates disease? Acid. It breeds viruses, bacteria, fungus. Majority of diseases cannot thrive in an alkaline environment, and that goes for the cancer, it goes for a lot of other diseases. They cannot thrive in an alkaline environment. But in general, our diets, a lot of things that we're doing, animal products, they are more acidic to our body. So when you can keep your body at a pH neutral, you inhibit growth of things you don't want in your body. So everything we eat converts in the stomach, which has a pH of 2.5. Wolfberry goes into the stomach and starts to break down as acid, but the minute it hits the small intestine, it immediately converts back to alkaline. It's acid binding and alkaline forming. The only other food that does this is going to be lemon. Wolfberry is chemically structured to convert because of the amino acid trypsin, which is responsible for the conversion of amino acids and protein. And guess what? NingXia is. It's an alkaline protein. It's the most perfect food that exists. So reason number 3. Free radicals. So where do free radicals come from? They're going to come from our environment. They're going to come from the air, electromagnetic fields, stuff that we're eating like chocolate and sugar. They are the army guys on the wrong side of the team. They wreak havoc on our bodies. You outnumber the army with NingXia. Your body does a good job at taking care of oxidative stress. But one of the reasons that we age, the reasons we get wrinkly, the reasons we feel really tired, is because of an excess of free radicals. Everything that's high in ORAC will flush your system really well. Your body gets quadrillions of free radical attacks each day, around 10,000 attacks per cell per day. The body needs a leg up. Most other nutritional drinks do little against superoxide, the worst free radical, because the drinks are so heavily processed. Gary worked for years to protect the berry all the way to the bottle, so you get the full benefits. The NingXia Wolfberry was saved during processing. That means it's a powerhouse designed to fight free radicals in the body. Reason number 4, vitamin mineral pairs. So minerals have to be properly balanced. If you have too much calcium, you're going to result in a zinc deficiency. If you have too much zinc, that can suppress immunity and lead to anemia. Both the mineral profile and the mineral balance of the NingXia Wolfberry is without equal in the plant kingdom. With magnesium to calcium ratios 1:1, zinc to copper 2:1, and potassium to magnesium 8:1, it's exactly what the body needs in proportion. So reason 5, it's a macronutrient. You're getting a whole food nutrition. It's coming from the plant, not a synthetic source. It's coming from a food-based source. That means it's easier for your body to process and you'll absorb more of what you're eating. It's also a liquid. So if you if you did a digestive function test, 95 to 98% of us would come back with a weak or a deficient digestive system, because of medications, stress, processed foods. So to get NingXia in a liquid form means that your body absorbs it faster and your body doesn't have to break it down. Reason number 6, it's infused with essential oils. So essential oils in NingXia act as a delivery system to the body. Because it's infused with Young Living's therapeutic grade essential oils, it's going to increase the absorption rate of NingXia. The tiny little oils act as a delivery system for our larger molecules. And reason 7, it has the right sugar and it has the right enzymes. And some people tell me, but sugar is bad. I can't have any sugar, but not all sugar. NingXia has the right sugar to open the door to your cell. So when our cell membranes are either inflamed, they're oxidized, they're toxic, or they're lacking in mitochondrial function to energize the receptors to open and close, we have no energy. So NingXia sugar open the door to our cells so good information can get passed to them. It crosses the lipid layer of the cell and passes inside. There are only 8 sugars on Earth that can open that door, and NingXia has 4 out of 8, naturally occurring inside the wolfberry. So let's talk about enzymes. By the time we're 40, we start to lose our digestive enzymes in the gut. NingXia is loaded with the right enzymes to help you break down food and get the nutrients out of what you eat. So we want to feed your body exactly what it needs. So other important things about NingXia. It contains every essential amino acid. It contains 13% protein, the highest protein content of any fruit. It has trace minerals. It is naturally occurring in vitamins B1, B6, B2, which is the energy vitamin. It has more vitamin C than all the fruits and veggies on the earth, so 148 milligrams. So parsley and spinach have about 133, oranges have about 53. It has more calcium than cherries, which are around 16 milligrams, and cruciferous veggies, which are from the cabbage family, which are around 50, and more beta carotene than carrots. So NingXia has 12,600, where carrots have 11,000. It's loaded with fiber because of the skin of the berry that's preserved in it. So perhaps the best thing that the wolfberry does for your body is what it does to the cells. The cell membrane is made up of oils, fats, and phospholipids. They're proteins floating on this very liquid and very flexible sea of fat. The proteins are like the antennas that pick up the messages from other cells. So you know the messengers that come into the cell, you'll hear the fancy names like insulin, thyroid enzymes, digestive enzymes. Well, the neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin are other ones too. So there are messengers that don't work well until you attach the right sugars to them. So you can see the power of nutrition. Fats, proteins, and sugars are all needed. If you're eating the wrong sugar, then you're going to render the whole structure of the cell membrane dysfunctional. If cell communication breaks down, your health breaks down. If you mess up the cell membrane, you need more insulin to get the job done. So, which brings me to another point. So 40% of us are insulin resistant. If a man has a waist of more than 40 inches and a woman more than 35 inches, it means that we're insulin resistant. That's why we want to stay away from bad sugar. But we'll get back to that in the NingXia challenge, which we're going to come up to the end of class. But just to wrap up the science behind this, NingXia wolfberry and good nutrition can impact your cell membrane. It helps cellular communication take place. It gives the mitochondria the energy that it needs. It provides the micronutrients and it feeds the mitochondria, and it has the right sugar to open the cell door. So when you eat poorly, your cells get all mucked up. The lipid layer on the outside of the cell gets sticky, and the cells, they start to stack up on top of one another like coins. NingXia will wipe the doorway clean, increase the surface area so that the good information can get passed to the cell. So we'll actually take a look at what someone looks like under a microscope before they had NingXia and then after they had NingXia. And it's a really old video, sorry.
See how it stacks like coins?
No. Let me see. Let me see if that's. Okay. All right, it was a bad idea to try to connect audio on the other one. So you can't hear everything that she's saying, but did you see in the first slide how the cells were all clumped together like coins? So here, let's try to walk us through. So over here, this is someone that they did a test on before they had NingXia. And then 15 minutes later, after they had NingXia, they did another test, and this is what the cells look like. So you can see that they're separated, they have more oxygen that's able to get to them. Okay, so NingXia, just to kind of sum up, so NingXia does not heal the body, but the NingXia is high in antioxidants. It's what supports our adrenals and all of our glands, all of our endocrine system. The body does all the healing, but the NingXia and the oils support our body, so we're able to, the body can do what it's meant to do. It's going to be cleaning our cell receptor sites so the body can do its own work and communicate like a boss. It comes alongside the body so it can do what it was created to do. So if you have NingXia, I'm trying to look at everyone that's on. I know some people have it, some people don't. If you have it with you, here's a way you can try it out. So NingXia is just to get in the body and feel for yourself. A lot of people ask me, how long does it take to notice benefits? Sometimes it can take, sometimes you can feel it immediately. Sometimes you can notice it in the first few weeks, like I did. Some, it does take a few months. It does take about 4 months total for every cell in your body to be replaced. So depending on the situation, so it depends on the person, but if you drink 2 to 4 ounces a day for 4 months and then you take a week off, that's the best way that you can see how your body reacts and how you feel from it. But it's how you notice the benefits on your body. So if you want to do a little class experiment right now for everyone that has NingXia, so I have a little bit right here. So if you have some at home, you can just take like about an ounce or so of it. But you want to take note of a few reference points that are easy to self-evaluate. So breathe in, find your lung capacity, take a look at your vision, the sense of energy you feel. You can look around the room, assess the quality of your eyesight. You know, are you feeling tired? Are you energized? Are you somewhere in between? Then I want you to take a large sip of the NingXia Red and hold it in your mouth for 10 to 20 seconds. You want to hold it under the tongue is best. And you want to tune in to any sensations in your body. So close your eyes and then swallow. And then take another good evaluation of how you feel. Now, usually, almost immediately, you'll feel a warmth through your body. You may feel a tingling down to your toes. So take another deep breath. Are your lungs able to take in more air? Do you feel more awake? Now, NingXia does contain zeaxanthin and lutein, which basically act as a natural sunscreen for your eyes. I have seen some testimonies about not only cataract, macular degeneration. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it was probably a large amount of NingXia a day, but it actually reversed it over time. Again, not overnight, but like with time. But so notice, do you feel more calm? Do you feel centered? So a lot of people say that wolfberry helps them relax. Sometimes people say it makes them more energized. So it's a combination of both. I'm going to quickly go over odd ways to use NingXia. I'm not going to go too in depth. If something resonates with you and you want to know, well, I'll go over this part first and then I'll go over some other ways. But if something resonates with you and you want to know a specific recipe, you can just reach out. So these are NingXia Red shots. So this was back at like one of the conventions, 2014. So these are recipes from Young Living Corporate. These all utilize the vitality oils. So in case you don't know what the vitality oils are, those are, the FDA doesn't allow any company to say that an oil is good for internal use as well as you can put it on your skin. It says you have to pick one. So our vitality oils are exactly the same as our other oils. So if you have a lime or a lemon or lavender or thieves or orange, they all come in a white label, that's vitality, and they come in a regular label without the white label. They're exactly the same oil, but to a Young Living is very compliant with all their standards and everything. So we just have to differentiate which ones are our vitality lines that are safe for internal use and our ones that we can use for topical or aromatic. So these are called NingXia Red Shot. So I take NingXia, me personally, I take, I want to say about an ounce or so, and then I do kombucha, which if you don't know what that is, you can reach out. And then I also add, it depends on the day. Sometimes citrus fresh, lime, grapefruit. I kind of just like add some oils in here. But here are some fun like shots. So we have the Atomic Fireball, which is NingXia Red, 2 drops of cinnamon, Acatea. Acatea is also good for weight management. Mind Blaster, which is NingXia Red, lime, peppermint, citrus fresh, and frankincense, and a drop of cinnamon bark. Hot Flash, which is NingXia Red, cinnamon bark, peppermint. Dreamsicle, which sounds really nice. I have not tried that one. NingXia Red, Sacred Frank, orange, lime, tangerine, copaiba, citrus fresh, and lemon. Oh. Simply Smooth. Simply Smooth is NingXia, tangerine, lime, and Sacred Frank. Yes. Yeah, Marissa. I always take mine too. Mine, I was taking it at like 7 o'clock at night, but then I started doing it at like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. It's way better for me. Okay, so here are some odd ways. And we're all women on the call, so I'm not going to dive into all of them. So you can use it as a mouthwash. You can swish it in your mouth. You can make NingXia tea. You can make a NingXia poultice. So that you would do a gauze pad, you would add a tablespoon of NingXia to a cloth, and you would put either a hot or cold pack behind it and apply it for a few hours. You can make a paste of it. So you would pour it onto a plate, you would let it sit for a few hours, and as the water evaporates, it'll get like sticky and gooey, and then you can apply it where you want it. You can make an abdominal conditioner. You can make a lotion out of it. NingXia for your ears. You can make a NingXia enema. You can do a finger or toe soak, a NingXia foot bath, NingXia massage, NingXia nail and cuticle treatment, NingXia scalp application. So again, if you want any more in depth of any of those, feel free to reach out. The fun ones, the more common ones, NingXia gummy bears, NingXia popsicles, those are really good. They're really good for kids in the summertime. They're a favorite. Okay, so that's gonna wrap up the NingXia portion of the class, but we're gonna take one quick peek at how to get started. Now, there is, for anyone that doesn't have anything to Young Living, we have there's going to be changing in the next couple of weeks too for everyone. The whole entire website's going to be changing, so just be on the watch for what to look for, and I can help you with specific questions. But then there is a NingXia starter kit, and it's going to give you 24% discount off your NingXia, your oils for Young Living products total for life. So I started with the NingXia kit. Some of us in the class started with a starter kit. It's normally what I recommend just to get started until everything changes in a couple of weeks. There's no yearly membership fee at all. This is what the NingXia starter kit looks like. I'll break it down by dollars, and then I'll go over the ER too. So the NingXia Red Premium starter kit is $135, and it comes with 2 bottles of NingXia Red. So that's going to be these large bottles. And it comes with a 30 pack of these little packets on the go, which I literally only use. They're really good on the go. Like when I had to go to Idaho, we went to Florida, and I take these. It's very easy to use. I don't think actually we touched on the other thing these are really good for. So when I talked about free radicals in the body, there are some people that utilize these as instead of using sunscreen, they take NingXia Red. Because when we're out in the sun doesn't burn our skin. The UV rays create more free radicals in our body. So if we're able to eliminate the free radicals, we won't burn. So there are a lot of people within Young Living that just utilize the NingXia Red and also give it to their kids and don't utilize any sunscreen. So if you want more information, I'm happy to share. It's about, you can't just go, there's other things that go into it. So if you're going to be eating, there was another class that we did recently, but if you're going to be eating junk food and Doritos and stuff on the beach or be outside, that's not going to help. Eating a clean diet, eating other foods that are antioxidant, like all your berries, your blueberries, your strawberries, that's also going to help, drinking lots of water. But these can help too. So even though I went on a tangent, so the starter kit also comes with NingXia Nitro. The Nitro, that whole kit right there is like not on the starter kit. If you were to get it by itself as a wholesale, is around $205. So you are saving $70 if you sign up with Young Living and get it on the starter kit. The Young Living also has the dried wolfberries that you can just snack on and eat. Like my kids used to eat just pure goji. We have a goji berry plant actually. So I either dry those out, I put them in our smoothies, but you can get the NingXia wolfberries too. So I don't know, a lot of people don't know that Young Living has a lot of food. There's like flour and the einkorn, which is a whole nother topic that we'll go into. So let me see. I don't think this one knows anything. So yeah, that's just the 2 packs of NingXia. Okay, so I'm gonna skip the other ones. Okay, so that's the Nitro. So you take the whole bottle of Nitro. It's instead of doing an energy drink. So if like a lot of husbands do energy drinks, I find. So instead of using the Monsters or Red Bulls, you can do the Nitro, and you squeeze the whole bottle. You can do it by itself. You can add to it. You can add it within NingXia, but it's going to be instead of that energy drink. Sorry, I'm reading the comments too. Okay, so this is a combo pack. So once you are a member with Young Living, I did the price breakdown because I'm all about numbers. So this comes with 2 bottles and then 30 packets of the sachets, and it's $158. So cost per ounce is $1.43. But there is, once you're on our loyalty program, which is Essential Rewards, you can get, it's 4 bottles, and then you get 30 packets of the sachets, and it's $194.50, but it ends up being $1.20 per ounce. So it's a little bit of cost savings, and you get 10% back with Essential Rewards over the first 3 months. After 3 months, you get 20% back, and then after 2 years, you get 25% back. So you do earn rewards being on the Essential Rewards program, which is going to be called, I believe it's going to be called our loyalty program next month. So with the program, you also get free oils depending on your spend every month. And then just for being on the program, no matter what your spend is at 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months, you'll get free oils too. So let me see what Susan said. Oh, so sunscreen. So no, you don't use it topically. You just drink it, because the NingXia will get rid of the free radicals in your body. So if you don't have any free radicals, you're not going to burn, because essentially you burn from the inside out. The sun's not actually burning you. If that makes sense. It's pretty cool. I was like, what? I was like, I know, it's really, really crazy. One specific friend of mine, she has 3 kids and they haven't used sunscreen in years. It's nuts. But also too, like, it's not like you're in the winter, you never see the sun ever, and then you go to the beach for 9 hours and you're doing this. You know, they're going to be outside all the time, whether it's going to the park, blowing bubbles outside. It's not like some drastic switch. You know, they'll be outside for a couple hours here and there, but it's about an ounce for every hour that you're in the sun. So yeah, it is pretty crazy. I never really thought about it. So there are other classes if you want to learn. I always teach. There's a thieves class. There's just like a 101 oils class. There's a CBD class that I did last week. So I love being able to come alongside you all and train. I always want to make sure you're reading ingredients, you're challenging the label of products in your home, and you're just the gatekeeper of your own home. You know, you can control what you allow inside. And also too, if 3 people come to any classes with you and decide that they want to get started, you know, they can do that. And that could give you your kit for free. So sometimes people are worried, like, you know, I may not be able to afford some of the things that I want. You know, you can bless those around you with the same knowledge that you just got in this class. And, you know, if you have 10 or 12 come to all 4 classes that I offer, that's 3 or 4 people per class, and they decide that they want to get kits and they want to sign up for the loyalty reward program, you can generate enough income so that your NingXia doesn't have to come out of your family budget. Because I know things are always tight. So even if you have no interest in building a business, you know, you don't have to, but I can help teach to your friends and family so that they get the same training and education that you've gotten. So if you can always talk to me after class if you're interested for me to come teach to your circle of friends. We can do a private session and I could teach whatever you want me to teach to them. So yeah, I think we went over, did we go over how do we get, I think we did. So I think we went over the pricing. So how much NingXia should you drink? So it depends on what's going on, but the recommended daily amount is going to be about 2 ounces, and then 1 ounce for those under the age of 6. Sometimes it's really rare that NingXia may bother you, but it could just be from previous diet and lifestyle. So if it does, you could drink about a 1/4 teaspoon 2 or 3 times a day until you get up to the recommended amount. And then after a week, you move up a 1/2 teaspoon a day. And after 2 weeks, you move to a teaspoon a day, or which is 1 ounce. You could also continue up until you get to 2 teaspoons a day. And then you can also take sulfurzyme, which will help just overall for comfort. And lastly, we can end with a story. So this comes from a Young Living convention in 2015, and it was a story about Gandhi. And Gandhi used to give advice to people 2 or 3 hours a day. He'd sit under a tree and people would line up. And after waiting all day long in the heat, finally a mom with her child, comes up to Gandhi and says, please tell my child to stop eating candy. And Gandhi says, well, come back tomorrow. And the woman was puzzled, but if Gandhi says it, you should do it. So she lines up in the heat on the sun of the next day, and she gets to the top of the line again. And she says, please, Gandhi, please tell my son to stop eating candy. And Gandhi says, quit eating candy. And she says, well, why didn't you just tell them that before? And he says, well, before I was eating candy myself. So I want to look you all in the eye, and I'm going to challenge you. If you want to share the NingXia with anyone, those that you know, you'll have more power conviction if you speak truthfully and say, I quit refined sugar today. You'll have, refined sugar does the opposite of what NingXia is doing for your body. And we talked about NingXia naturally containing good sugars, and refined sugar is going to be the opposite. So we can kick the entire class up a notch You know, I believe in training you long after this class is over. I'm all about education driven, which means I can work alongside you to train you in the Young Living products. If you're interested in taking the Young Living NingXia challenge, let me know. I have a calendar. It's for 30 days straight on NingXia, and I'll just like briefly go over it. So this would be the challenge. There's little, you can start whenever, you can start mid-month, but you would have to commit to not doing, for when you're pregnant, Marissa, I mean, the lack of energy that you have, I would say 2 ounces is good. I mean, you can up it if you want. There's some of the diamonds that take like a bottle a day, but you know, they can afford that. But I would say like 2 ounces is good. 2 ounces and Super Bees will really help you with energy when you're pregnant.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So with the NingXia challenge, so refined sugar, when you turn over your labels, and you can find it in so much food, guys, but even in cereal, yogurt, like we make our own milk, but we also have alternative milk too, like our So Delicious, and they even do added sugars in there. It's usually like even organic cane sugar is still going to be a refined sugar. So you can either eliminate it if that's too hard for you to do. You can do less than 10 grams of sugar, but this will be your NingXia challenge if you want to try. So it's 2 ounces, a 2 ounce packet. You'll write down your grams of sugar, and then you need to walk 30 minutes a day. So if you want to do it, you can reach out to me and have a special treat for you when you're done if you accomplish it. But that is something that you can do. But again, I always am about looking at the whole picture. You can't just do one thing, because if you drink NingXia, but then you're still eating a really crappy diet, it's not going to benefit you. It's just going to be a waste of your money. So that was it. If anyone has any questions, feel free to let me know. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a lot.
Hey, Marlisa, it's Marissa.
Hi.
Hey, I just wanted to add, I don't know if anyone on the call has animals, but I just wanted to share a quick story. Last week, my one dog had kennel cough, and I was looking up in my book that I could give him NingXia. So what I ended up doing was giving him like an ounce in the morning and an ounce at night with his food, and started on, I think it was like Monday or Tuesday of last week, and by Thursday his cough was completely gone. So just something cool. I didn't know that you could give it to your animals too, but I just thought I'd mention that if anybody has animals, I just thought it was really awesome instead of having to take them to the vet.
Yeah, that's all. I know Jenny has animals. I don't know if anyone else has dogs.
Yeah, I read you can give it to cats too, but it would be in a smaller amount. But I just
pigs. I know Jenny's got some pigs.
I do have pigs.
I'd have to double check my book, but I can't imagine saying no to that. Since it's really good for them.
Like arthritis too, like pain, like giving it nutrients.
Yeah, I mean, anything in the body. So like if something is inflamed, any type of antioxidant or foods that decrease inflammation will all help. I mean, there are a lot of, if you have like if there's like a specific use case, you can ask me, but any type of pet, or I mean, they're just like humans, they have issues too. So it's finding out of maybe you're something giving them that could be, but we can also give them stuff that's going to decrease the inflammation too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can double check the my book too, because I have the animal book.
Yeah.
So I can always double check if you need me to reference anything. But yeah, it was pretty amazing how well his turnaround was, you know, just really great. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you. Thank you, Marissa.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have any questions? No? All right. Well, thank you all for being here. And I hope you learned a lot. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me whenever.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you.